Hello, my name is Ilona. I'd like to take a look at a couple of countries, what is going to happen the next week, 2 weeks. And I want to take a look at the USA first. There's a lot of talk going on that they want to make mandatory the wasp sting. And the black hats want to make that mandatory in the hope that people will go get it, get scared because they like that lower vibration. Or they'll start creating trouble. They go out and then they can plan their minions and make sure things will get out of hand because that's what the black hats want. Just gonna see first card, America, and that is, oh, that's interesting. I'm getting two cards here. So that's the Four of Cups above with High Priestess. Central card is, that's interesting. That's the King of Wands. Of course, he stands for a certain person, Mr. T. So this is the past, Nine of Pentacles. Underneath is the Two of Wands. And the future is the Star. So if I'm going to read this correctly, my feeling is that the white hats are in control there. They are pretty much fully in control. And my feeling is the next 2 weeks will be around what's going on with Mr. T. I'm not sure if he's actually going to come out these 2 weeks, his rightful place on the throne, but it is a possibility. It kind of depends how everything is going to turn out. The audits are going to come out. Mike Lindell is going to talk and a symposium about the proof he has about what was going on in November last year. And I see the influences are a bit, how do you say this? This is the closed off section. So I have a feeling that it's going to be everything that's going to happen the next 2 weeks will be pretty much to suppress things coming out around Mr. T. People were already warning about this, and that's what I'm getting in this reading. So they're trying really hard to make sure people will not get the information, and they'll really hard try to keep people in a very low frequency, so they won't in a way really step into their power, or they hope if people do start, how do you say that, going out, that they manage to use that to divide and conquer. What is very interesting is the high priestess in this case, and this tells me it has to do with intuition. There is more going on, obviously, where we don't know half of it. So in the background, things are going on. I'm sure you've been hearing this for a long time, so have I. And I've been sensing it for a very long time. So there's a lot of things going on the next couple of weeks. And I mean a lot of things going on. And it has a lot to do with Mr. T and getting him back in his rightful position. And there's people do not want to accept that. I'm talking about the black hats. They really are trying to suppress things. They're really trying to create their own narrative, to create fear. Like this has to do with creating like mysteries, not showing the truth, trying to suppress it. But on the other side, the intuition is also working for the white hats in a way that they're using this most likely to wake up people again. I understand that this is getting frustrating because, of course, you are awake. Most people who watch this are awake. So it's like, well, come on, how long do we have to wait for this? But this is a very big, credible scale operation. And if you move too fast, it's going to create a really full out war, even among people. It's really something they're trying to avoid. This is what the white hats are trying to avoid. And I can see from this future, there is a bright future ahead. So this coming time, of course, probably longer than just 2 weeks, is necessary to, because the future is set later on, is really to, this also stands for Aquarius, so it's very suitable we are now in the time of Aquarius. This is really to create a beautiful, completely new world. And unfortunately, this is necessary. But I have a feeling that in these next 2 weeks, I'm not sure if the Whiteheads are going to really, what we're waiting for, are really going to take full control with the military. That's pretty much what I'm waiting for. But there is a chance. It's always very difficult to say. It's very difficult times. I have a feeling it has to do with all kinds of chess moves, what I'm not fully aware of. But my feeling is that the Whiteheads are going to show themselves way more. So I have a feeling in 2 weeks in the USA, we will see changes. Things will be happening. Things will change for good in that way. There will be good changes ahead. But first, people will try to suppress it. The media will try to suppress things. They will create their narrative, which could create fear, anxiety. So stay strong, stay within yourself, stay close to yourself, stay in contact with your own intuition. That's why the High Priestess is also there. Don't get caught up in that narrative. Don't get scared. They will probably put out some date later on in the future, so you don't have to worry about that right now. And I'm certain that the Whiteheads will make sure that it will not get that far. So yes, that's what I'm getting. So the USA is heading for a very beautiful future, but they still have to have some things on their way, unfortunately. I want to take a look at Canada, see what's going on in Canada the next 2 weeks. We have, well, yes, it wasn't of course a question, but there is a new beginning apparently. This is the Ace of Pentacles, that's the card above. This is the Eight of Cups, that's the central card. This is the Queen of Cups, that's the card in the past. Underneath is the Death card, again a new beginning. And this is the card of the future, the Emperor. So to me, the next 2 weeks for Canada will be a new beginning. They are moving away from a situation. They're leaving behind a situation. I've heard about a court case that's been won in Alberta. So they have to drop all the measurements they've taken for a certain thing that's going around the world. And as you can see, they have two beginning cards. The Death card, which means something is going to fall, something's going to be left behind, which is this card as well. Something's going to be left behind and new doors are going to open. And this card is really about new doors. So I think the next 2 weeks will be very important for Canada. Things are really going to change there. And the future, it has a bit of a military feeling for me. So I think the military will take over in Canada in the future. That's what the Emperor is for. You could see his attire, what he's wearing. So he is a bit of a military man, obviously, as an emperor. So my feeling is that they will be taking over, and this next 2 weeks will be like a new start, new beginning. It's already, you can already see things coming out there in Canada. And I want to take a look at the UK, United Kingdom. The next 2 weeks. This is the Ten of Pentacles. This is the Two of Wands. It's the central card. This is the card of the past. That is the Ace of Swords. This is underneath, that's interesting, the Devil. And this is the High Priestess. This is for the future. So if I'm looking at the Devil, I think they're still cleaning out things. I have a pretty good feeling that the Whiteheads are in control there as a shadow government, but they're still dealing with black hats working there. They're really trying to clean out everything. So right now, UK for the next 2 weeks will be a bit in a limbo, so to speak, like a no man's land. So in a way, you don't really see anything. It's not like measurements will be taken, but it's more like what it is now. So the next 2 weeks, I don't get the feeling there's a lot happening for the people, so to speak, but there's a lot going on financially. So my guess is there's a financial thing going on there. maybe connected to make sure that the black hats really don't have anything to fall back on. We have, of course, the new system already running along with the old system. So maybe they're preparing something from the UK to get rid of the old system. I'm not certain about that. I don't know. But they're preparing something financially in a way. And the future for the UK is a bit in a way, looks like there's some mystery around it, but this tells me that this is a very intuitive card. This is about following your intuition. So my feeling, which is very suitable with this card, is that this is a good card. Secrets will come out. That's my feeling with this card, because it's in the future. This card usually stands for how do you say that? Mysteries, secrets. I have a feeling it will come out. People will begin to hear things. People will start opening up in the UK. Things will come out. Things start pouring out. That's my feeling about the UK. So the next 2 weeks, nothing major is going to happen. It seems like nothing major is going on in the UK. So it will seem like nothing major is going on. Like you see this card, there's not much going on. There's just someone standing there. But I have a feeling financial things are being prepared, and they're still taking care of black hats that are still in that area, or even maybe the darker energies that are still there. So that's the UK. And last, I want to take a look at Australia. A lot of things are going on there. So I want to take a look for the next 2 weeks for Australia. Let's see. This is the 6 of Pentacles. That's the above card. This is the 7 of Swords. That's the central card. This is the 2 of Wands. We got that card again. This is in the past. This is the card underneath, again, the High Priestess. She's really showing up in all these readings. And this is the card for the future. This is the Fool. So the next 2 weeks will still be difficult. I have a feeling they will probably still control the way they have been controlling it for now. This is it's like someone is not taking their responsibility, is trying to sneak away with a lot of swords. So a lot of things are going on where people just don't know what's going on and whether it's a black hat or a white hat operation. So there's a lot of confusion. People are not honest. There's a lot of dishonesty. People still try to save their skin. That's what I'm feeling, like they're still trying to get away. I think that's the black hats. They're still trying to show that they have this control, this power, while in reality they don't. They don't want to give up. So the next 2 weeks, I have a feeling things are still going to be pretty much what they are now. So that's pretty strict. This is to balance things out. And the influence underneath is the intuition. So people in Australia, listen to your intuition. This, of course, is worldwide, but it's almost like they're trying to balance the feminine in the Australian energy, so to speak. There's a balancing of energy. So there's a lot of things going on there. I think a few weeks ago, saw that there was still a lot of fighting in the dumps going on there. So it wouldn't surprise me if they're still working on some dumps. They're still trying to clean out things. That's why it's so, the measurements are so strict. And this is a very good card. So this is the card for the future of Australia, and this shows a new beginning. This is, of course, the first card of the Major Arcana. This shows the beginning of a journey. This is everything is open, everything is possible. It's that trust. So I believe Australia will come out of this in a very good way. So the Australia, how to say that new energy will come in the future. But right now, the predicament is still tough. So for the coming 2 weeks, I don't see things changing that much in that way. But there's still a lot of things going on there. So that is my video for today, and I hope to see you in another one. Bye.